Bichette, one of the most recognizable faces of the Toronto Blue Jays, a fan favorite, a cornerstone player, and now, officially a free agent. Today, we're diving deep into the breaking news. Bichette has declined the Blue Jays' qualifying offer. What does that mean? Why did he turn it down? And what does this decision mean for the future of the Blue Jays and the entire MLB offseason? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about what actually happened. The Toronto Blue Jays extended a qualifying offer to Bichette, a standard one-year $22.25 million contract. This is something teams offer star players who are about to hit free agency. It doesn't guarantee they'll stay, but it gives the team a chance to keep them for one more season. Pause for emphasis. But Bichette said no, and honestly, it wasn't surprising. To understand why Bichette declined the offer, you have to understand what the qualifying offer really is. It's not meant to be a long-term deal. It's more of a safety net, a temporary bridge, and for players like Bichette, who are entering the prime of their careers, their priority isn't 1 year of security. It's long-term commitment. Bichette is 27 years old, already a two-time All-Star, and has consistently ranked among the league's top shortstops in hits, offensive production, and overall value. Players of his caliber don't settle for a one-year deal unless something has gone very wrong. When you look at the market, star shortstops regularly sign contracts worth anywhere from $150 million to over $300 million. Bichette knows his value. His camp knows his value. And the entire league knows his value. So what does this mean for the Blue Jays? Well, it complicates things. Let's start with the obvious. Declining the offer means Bichette becomes a full free agent, free to negotiate with all 30 MLB teams. If he signs elsewhere, Toronto will receive a compensation draft pick, but that's not exactly comfort for losing an elite shortstop in the middle of his prime. The Blue Jays are heading into one of the most important off-seasons in franchise history. They just had a deep postseason run. They've built a strong rotation. Their fan base is as engaged as ever. And now everything hinges on what happens next. Do they go all in and try to re-sign Bichette to a massive long-term deal? Do they pivot and invest heavily in another star player instead? Or do they let Bichette walk, take the draft pick, and begin reshaping the roster entirely? So let's talk about Bichette's market. Shortstops with elite offensive production are rare. Most teams have to settle for defense-first players at the position. That's not Bichette. He hits for average, he hits for power, he creates runs, he's durable, and he consistently ranks near the top in hits every season. His next contract could easily land in the $200 million range. Teams with money to spend, clubs looking for an impact bat or a franchise anchor, will absolutely be calling. These are decisions that could define the next 5 years of Blue Jays baseball. For the Blue Jays, this moment is huge. Bichette, along with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., has been the face of the team's young core. Losing him wouldn't just be a statistical hit, it would also shift the identity of the entire roster. There are several teams that make sense as potential suitors. Some need a shortstop, some need star power, some simply need more offense. While Toronto will absolutely remain in the mix, it's safe to say the competition is about to get intense. If Bichette wants a long-term deal, and every sign suggests he does, he's going to find plenty of options. Now here's the important part. Declining the qualifying offer does not mean Bichette is done in Toronto. In fact, it's extremely common for star players to decline the offer and still return to their original team on a longer contract. The relationship between Bichette and the organization has always been professional and respectful. There's no sign of tension. This isn't a divorce. It's negotiation strategy. Toronto still has every opportunity to bring him back. The question is, will they match what other teams offer? And more importantly, will they commit to building a competitive roster around him? As expected, Blue Jays fans are emotional about the news. Bichette has become one of the most beloved players on the team. He's homegrown, he's clutch, and he's been integral to some of the best moments the franchise has had in recent years. Losing him would feel like the end of an era. Keeping him would solidify the core of the team for years to come. So yes, the fan reactions are understandable, and the stakes are sky high. Here's what's next. Teams will begin contacting Bichette's camp immediately. Serious negotiations will start. The Blue Jays will have to decide how aggressively they want to pursue him, and fans will be watching every single development. This is the beginning of one of the biggest offseason storylines in baseball, and the Blue Jays are right at the center of it. Bichette declining the qualifying offer didn't close the door, but it opened a massive chapter in his career and the future of the Toronto Blue Jays. How much will he earn? And will Toronto step up to keep their star shortstop at home? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Should the Blue Jays go all in to keep Bichette, or is it time for a new direction? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates as this story unfolds.